There is no funding winter for good companies.
India is unique in the sense that it actually converts capital to revenue.
India is very well positioned for the next decade to drive global growth.
There certainly has never been a better time to invest in India.
Mr. Ninad, tell us what is your strategy going forward, considering that right now we are in the middle of a funding winter. What is the strategy at your VC firm going forward?
So funding winter is a big word. It's all encompassing. But actually, if you come down the ladder and you slice and dice, there is winter, there is no winter in some cases. And we are in a very early stage. We write the first check. As a firm, we get anywhere from 25 to 30,000 pitch decks every year. That hasn't stopped. That deal flow is still there. There's no shortage of interest from angel investors to invest in early stage. So in my mind, we are very, very early. In that very early stage, fortunately, we are seeing even greater interest because people are willing to take higher risk with small ticket size.
Sure.
So, which is a good sign. Good sign from both perspectives because startup founders are coming from tier 2, tier 3 cities. The flow is increasing and the demand is also there. Winter, when you talk about it, it's more a stage which is happening in the later stages, Series C, D, E. So in a sense, we are going to give them all the pipeline for the next 3 to 5 years when hopefully things will be all okay on that stage for a lot more deals.
So you're saying there's no slump in terms of deal activity in the early stages. How many number of deals have you closed, sir, so far?
So our intent is to close 100 deals in this year. We have done, we just closed 22 and earlier 25. So around 47 we have closed so far. We'll close another 30, 40. So plus minus 10, 15 will be in that range, between 80 to 110. And that is from a deal flow of 25,000. So 25 to 30,000. So that's
Sure.
the range we are looking at.
So any new fund, any new corpus you're building up next year, any such development?
So we want to keep investing. We are the first check writers, first institutional check. And we want to continue with our philosophy. We pioneered ICF in India. And ICF is a very fast method of funding, founder friendly. And now the market knows, everyone knows. So we want to do more of the same actually, rather than do something else.
And any particular industry vertical you will be looking at keenly this year?
So we are sector agnostic.
Okay.
We basically look at ideas which we think are breakthrough ideas, which are early, which typically don't get funded by anyone else. But we are the first port of call for such startup founders.
And what is the kind of exits you will be looking at? Is there any timeline you set for the exits? Right now, the stress from the investor community is like take the earliest possible exit because there is so much uncertainty in the market. What is your take on that?
So we are patient. Being first check, it takes time. I don't think we'll get an exit realistically between anywhere before 5 years from our investment.
Sure.
So our fund is 4 years old. So we haven't had any major exit, but it will happen next 1 or 2 years. During COVID, obviously, our investment slowed down, but we are back with a bang. We want to invest, 100 every year, and hopefully in next 2-3 years will be a portfolio of 500. Then we can come back with the story of...
Sure. It seems like the funding winter is outside this ambience. I haven't heard of any such responses from the investor community. But founders are very wary of the investments right now. What is your, learning? What learning should they take right now from the environment we are in right now?
So the froth is gone. The exuberance is gone. And the reality is struck now. What do I mean by that is both from the founders and VC perspective, this is a time, and I think we are probably at the fag end of this period. The next couple of months, we should start seeing again more and more funds where, people are more realistic about everything. And there's no blind chase for a startup or an idea. Those days are pretty much over.
and about the corporate governance issues that have cropped up in the startups lately, right? And that seems to have had an impact on the investments, or there are some charters investors are laying down for the founders and all. Are you also, re-strategizing the whole corporate governance issue, or talking to the founders actively, more participation from your end?
So this is an issue which needs to be fixed.
Sure.
I mean, there's no two ways about it.
Sure.
Corporate governance has to be fixed. There's no compromises. It has happened in some cases, and I think it's just because of enthusiasm or whatever. So we don't take any board seats as a VC. But yes, we have masterclass before we invest. We are now have a separate session on corporate governance and the importance of it. I think, it has happened in some cases, touch wood, not many cases. And it's a signal for others to ensure that they don't go down the path. All investors, board members are now cognizant of it. Founders are aware that if they mess up with corporate governance, it's pretty much over for them.
Sure.
So, in a sense, this will stabilize. It's a sense where I don't think anyone forgives bad corporate governance. There's no one there. Neither the government, nor regulators, nor VCs, nor investors. There's no two ways out.
And what is the key learning and a founder should take away? What are the key takeaways for founders? How should they build their company going forward from now? Because a lot of them have scaled down the operations. There have been rampant layoffs. It has come down to that point where people have lost the job. So what is your advice for the young founders out there? How should they go about scaling up?
So young founders, even today, capital is chasing ideas. But if you have capital, doesn't mean you have to spend it.
Yeah.
I think some of these things which are happening is because capital was there, they just went about spending it. So that's not how it will work. You have to follow. We are all for scaling. See, these young girls and boys, ultimately they come with a lot of enthusiasm and they want to make a difference. They've quit jobs or they've not gone for jobs and come to startup ecosystem where the success rate is at best 10%, not even that. So they want to do business. But this whole aspect of because capital is available, let's do X, Y, Z, that will be part of history now. People will be more conscious of spending capital.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so
you.
much for your time.
Thank you.